Good Saturday morning. This is the Loudoun County Weather Outlook. Gonna get interesting next weekend. It looks like something to watch. I mean, nothing's written in stone by any means, and things could change. And ironically, the heavy snow right now looks like it would be south of us on these maps. So we'll see that as we go forward. But not hard to tell you what it is today. Cold. Isobars are close together, so breezy conditions. Temperatures will feel like in the 20s as we get into the 30s today. You're going to notice the isobars stay close together for a lot of this week, and the temperatures stay cold. We're in these sub 500 millibar. This is below normal. Starting off December is a very below normal cold month. Pretty wild considering how warm we've been up to November. And then things have switched now for sure. So, I mean, just going in forward, I mean, this is all the way to Monday. See, isobars are still pretty close together. We've got cold conditions in place, so breezy, cold temperatures for sure. As a matter of fact, let me just show you tomorrow as some reinforcing. You see this little piece of energy kind of comes across mountains. Some could hold together, so we could see some snow showers. I'll have to see if that holds together. But pretty much cold and clear through the week. You do see that as we head later in the week, the high gets on top of us. And so we get a little bit of a return flow. And that means that we won't be quite as cold on Thursday. Also, the isobars get a little less packed together briefly here. So we finally get kind of a warmer condition as we go into Wednesday. Then we get some reinforcing cold here. This low is going to bring in a kicker and bring in some more colder conditions. And as it does so, we may get some snow showers. And then we get cooler again, but not super cold this time. But the isobars, look at that, really close together. This low up here in Canada is going to drive colder air into the region. So this is by next Friday. We chill off again, so we may be in the 40s, 40 to 45, let's say, on Wednesday, Thursday, but then cooling back down. And these are really close isobars here. This is going to be a very breezy Friday with reinforcing cold driving down this area. And now we're watching for moisture and this low pressure system here. These things could get interesting. What we have is we have this 1037 high. We got a blocking low here to the north. These are all important ingredients, by the way, for holding cold air in place if we happen to get moisture. You need a low kind of off here in the north, blocking the cold air from being able to retreat. Now, a good high pressure system coming in from the northwest, driving that cold air, and this is some frigid cold air. And this is going to be very important because how this pans out. See, this low has a little bit of a low, kind of like a oblong look here. This could mean suppression of anything that tries to build and move in here. And as of now, the models are kind of showing that. And so as we move forward, here comes some moisture from a southern stream system. There's a little bit of a northern piece of energy. These look like they're going to combine and cause a low pressure system. And look at this cold, freezing rain and sleet and stuff down into North Carolina and South Carolina. Yeah, that's some cold air in place. Strong block here to the north, keeping the cold in, reinforcing cold coming in, and a low pressure system trying to ride up over top of it. Well, that is typical and just right on track for snow. And so snow breaks out into Virginia. You see as of now, this low is way far south. Again, that has a lot to do with how much blocking we're seeing to the north. I mean, this storm may be too far suppressed on this model. That seems to be the challenge, but this is not a typical setup for this time of year, and La Nina systems tend to get pushed south. La Nina is the pattern we're in. Didn't really mention that in the winter outlook, but La Nina is a colder body of water in the Pacific. It is kind of eroding and not quite as spectacular as we thought at one point, but these tend to give you some suppression. It's low in the north, bringing the colder air in and not allowing this low to really ride up the coast. But this is enough to cause accumulating snow for the region. And hopefully, for me and snow lovers, it gets a little closer to the coast and becomes a little more prominent. So this is next Saturday, really far off at this point. Now you see as soon as it moves out, we relax into the cold air. Very typical when a system or a pattern changes from one to another, that's when you get a storm and it changes the scenarios of setups. So although we're cold this week, we look like we're going to mild up a little bit in the following week, if all this comes true. Cold air is not too far away, and it does look like it's going to try to reinforce sometime soon. but maybe not before we get a couple rainstorms and a little bit warmer, milder air. This was not unexpected after this cold week through about the 10th. I had mentioned before that it looks like it was going to relax some. And it seems like, maybe that wasn't going to come true, but now it's back to coming true. And I think that's pretty right on. So it won't be super warm days. It'll probably be very seasonable, but not as cold as we're experiencing over the next week. So there's a lot to watch here. And here's something to note. The European model, which I'll go through really quick here. Here's the piece of energy that's going to come across the mountains maybe tomorrow, cause a few flurries. We'll have to see. You see, we say cold, plenty cold on the European, no problem there. And then we go into the reinforcing shot Wednesday, Thursday, which is where we may get a few snow showers. So it stays cold, but look, where's that big storm? I don't see it. This is Friday. It would be coming together around this time. Let me show you the zero. Sorry, that other model was the most recent one, and it only runs out to about 144 hours. So here we are on Friday again, and you can see what storm. There is something pulling together. By the time it does pull together, we've gotten warm. And this is definitely a few days later. So, and it's a rainstorm for us. So, there you go. A lot different of a look up. It also brings in reinforcing shots of cold air after it, which the other model didn't show. Even that looks transient, like it's going to move on out. Even though for several days we could be kind of chilly. We'll have to see what comes together. I am leaning towards the American and not the European model. But it just shows there's always uncertainty, especially in long-range forecasting, which we expect. So this could all change and be a little different. But here's the deal. Cold week ahead. Temperatures pretty much in the 30s, and then on Wednesday, Thursday, maybe around 40 to 45 on Thursday. Maybe some snow showers tomorrow. Maybe some snow showers Wednesday night. And then we'll watch for a potential snowy system on next Saturday, but nothing's written in stone. And don't be surprised if it goes south of us, because it's not atypical. And that would be hurtful for a snow lover like me, but not atypical for this type of setup. Anyway, have an awesome Saturday, awesome weekend. This has been your Loudoun County Weather Outlook.